If you think that Mardi Gras is Bourbon Street, I get it, but it's so much more. And it's so much more interesting because Mardi Gras dates back to medieval Europe. And it came to what is now the United States with those French explorers back in 1699. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about that history, the controversy between Mobile, Alabama, and New Orleans, Louisiana, but mostly talking about the Krewes, because the Krewes are the backbone of everything that is Mardi Gras. So let's get started, and make sure you like and subscribe. A little Mardi Gras 101 to get us started. So Mardi Gras means Fat Tuesday. Fat Tuesday is the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday, and that is the start of the Lenten season on the Catholic calendar. So that matters because those French explorers that I mentioned that got here in 1699, they brought with them their Catholic traditions, which included the pre-Lenten celebration that includes Mardi Gras. This is the derivation of the whole Mobile, New Orleans thing. The reason for this is that Mobile has a documented history of celebrating Mardi Gras back to 1703. New Orleans was not founded until 1718. So while I think everyone would say that the experience that we all identify as Mardi Gras today is firmly rooted in New Orleans, it would be also fair to say that the roots of Mardi Gras are celebrated across the Gulf Coast, including Mobile. But all of those celebrations happen because of something called a krewe, K-R-E-W-E, and it's a social club. They are the people that put on the parades. They come up with the themes. They create the costumes. They buy all the throws. I mean, everything that you think of as being Mardi Gras related, it's because of those krewes. And in fact, there's a krewe that in the 1850s really shifted Mardi Gras because it was a pretty informal experience prior to 1850. And somewhere around there, the Mystic Krewe of Comus, they effectively created what is now the modern version of Mardi Gras, where you've got that themed parade and you've got perhaps even a ball. I think of the Krewes as being in one of three buckets. So the first would be the rolling Krewes, and those are the ones that have those big double-decker floats. It's probably, if you're imagining what a Mardi Gras celebration looks like, you're probably thinking of one of those Krewes. But the other type of krewe would be the walking krewes, a little more artistic, a little more satirical, a little more French Quarter vibe. And the third group is kind of everything else, because there are neighborhood krewes, there are krewes that are for families, there's a walking krewe which is called the Mystic Krewe of Barkus, which is for dogs, so I'm not sure what category that falls into. So yeah, if there's a group of people who want to come together to celebrate something and call themselves a krewe, that's what that third bucket is. So knowing this, now you're trying to figure out, when do I want to come to New Orleans so I can go to a Mardi Gras parade? I suggest you think about it in terms of the vibe. So if you want, pageantry and, the big uptown double-decker floats, that's one type of krewe. But if you are thinking about maybe something a little more artistic, something that is maybe even more family oriented, or maybe it's kind of like nighttime chaos kind of a vibe, right? There is something here for everyone. So if you think about the vibe, you can kind of back your way into, oh, well, what kind of krewes do that? And then what parades are those krewes in? But with all that being said, honestly, if you look at the parade schedule and you think, I'm going to come to New Orleans on this weekend, you're going to find a parade that will excite you. And I mean, if you've never been here before, it's all exciting. But they are really, really different experiences. In fact, the parade that I'm going to be taking you to next is called the Joan of Arc Parade. Joan of Arc Parade is on January 6th, which is the start of Mardi Gras. It's the carnival, start of the carnival season. And so I'm going to take you along for that. I'm going to help you understand a little bit about who Joan of Arc is as it pertains to the city of New Orleans and why many of us wear gold during the parade. So thank you again for joining me. Like and subscribe. Think about the French Quarter as a fabulous place to live. If you have any questions, drop them below. I would be more than happy to try to answer them for you.